We're on Sheviit Perek Tet, Mishnah Chet, 8th Mishnah in the 9th chapter of Sheviit. We're going to continue talking about the idea of Bi'ur Sheviit. Okay, and this is one of the more fundamental machlokot, one of the more fundamental arguments in the idea of Bi'ur Sheviit. Remember we learned way back, there's a huge machloket about what Bi'ur meant. Let's go back to our Bi'ur chart. Here we are, okay? Rambam said Bi'ur meant literally Bi'ur mamash, you have to get rid of it. Ramban said it meant hefker, you have to make it hefker. And this was, as we learned, this was the most commonly accepted theory or shita of the Rishonim. This is how we paskin. Hefker means you have to get it out of your house. Get it out of your house and make it hefker. I mean, you have to take it out of your house and say, anybody can have it. It doesn't belong to me, it's not mine anymore. So the obvious question is, of course, then, once I do that, can I take it back? I mean, if it doesn't belong to anyone, can I also keep it? Who does it belong to? So the Mishnah is going to tell us that this is based on an understanding of the following pasuk. In the middle of Moshe Rabbeinu was in Shemot Perek Kaf Gimel. Shemot Perek Gimel, I think I closed it. So it's just Moshe Rabbeinu is giving a bunch of halachot after the Cheda Egel. So Moshe Rabbeinu throws in the following. V'sheish shanim, he doesn't throw it in, he says, Sheish shanim tizrat artzecha, v'asafta t'tuata. 6 years you should plant your fields, seed your fields, and gather your grain. V'ashvi'it tishmetena unetashta. On the 7th year you should lay fallow and you should abandon it. V'achlu evyonei amecha. And you see the fact that I colored it red, then we're going to highlight these words. And the poor in your nation shall eat. V'yitram tochal chayat hasadeh. And that which is left over should be eaten for the animals of the field. Kain ta'aseh lekarmecha lezeitecha. So you should also do for in your kerem, in your vineyard, and for your olives as well. So the question is, what is Evyonei Amcha? Sounds like the Evyonim, the poor can eat it. What about the rich? We'll see this as a machloket. Because according to the reading of the pasuk, it would seem that only the poor can eat the Shemitah. But according to the understanding that I say Biur is hefker, once I make it hefker, what's to prevent me from taking it back again? Says the Mishnah. Misha yulo perot shvi'it v'higia sha'at ha'biur. If a person had perot shvi'it and the time came to do Biur, so then what do? Mechalek mezon shalosh seudot l'chol echad ve'echad. Okay, you divide, shalosh seudot, each you give 3 seudot worth, it's l'chol echad ve'echad, and this means l'chol echad ve'echad l'anshei beito, every person, every member of his family. Ve'achar kach mechalek l'shcheinav v'l'krovav v'yudav, you can give to everybody 3 seudot. And then he says, umotzi umeniach al petach beito, he takes it and puts it at the entrance of his house, and he says, achenu beit Yisrael, all friends of Israel, my brothers, Mishas Arich Lito Yito. Anyone who wants to take shall take. Okay, that's what you have to do. You give out 3 sudot worth to everybody you know, and then you have to make the rest hefker. Rabbi Yehuda says that after you do biur, only the poor people can eat, and not the rich people. Look at the Bartenura for a second. Dichtiv, as it says, why aniyim and not ashivim? Dichtiv, v'achlu evyonei amecha, v'yitrom tochal chayat hasadeh. We just saw that in the passage we read before. So he darshans out, evyonei amecha, the poor of your am, below amecha, not everybody. So only the poor, the non-field owners, and it's an interesting question, who's called poor and who's called not. The Kahati says that here we're talking about the guy who didn't own the field. I.e., if you owned the field before, then you're rich, vis-a-vis anybody else. So it means the other people, not the person who owned the field, can't come back and take it again, the thing that he's just mafkir. Rabbi Yossi says, Echad aniyim, ve'echad ashirim, ochlim achar biur. Both aniyim and ashirim, both poor and wealthy, can eat after the biur. Why? Echad aniyim ve'echad ashirim. Karibe ve'achlu evyonei v'gam amecha. So let's see how he reads the pasuk. V'ashvi'it tishmetena udinetashta, v'achlu evyonei amecha. And those who will eat it will be the poor and your nation. Now, this reading is not according to Pshat, but it is according to logic. If you think about it logically, so you have very classic, you always have this sort of, in interpreting text, you often have the dichotomy of the text itself versus the understanding. Once you say that Biur is not destroying it, once you say that Biur is, that Biur is hefker, what's the logic to say that I can't claim from hefker simply because I owned it before? I made it hefker. I legitimately said, anyone who wants to take it, take it. I left it out for a week. I can't bring it back inside if I want it. Nobody else wants it. What is preventing me from doing that? Why, according to Rabbi Yossi, would the owner be considered a rich person and not an ani? What if he really was poor, but it just happened to be his field? All of these logical reasons seem to indicate that Rabbi Yossi is correct. On the other hand, the pasuk seems to indicate otherwise, and that's why we have this fascinating machloket. We'll stop here. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to contact me as always at rspoter@gmail.com. We'll dedicate this learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a great day.